my loves, welcome back and happy April. So just to start with a quick bit of background on today's painting before I talk about anything else, I'm still looking at experimenting with landscapes and backgrounds. Thank you all so much, by the way, for the links and suggestions you left on my last video. All of it was so helpful and has really got me trying all sorts of different approaches to get the look I was going for. Today's look is a little bit different to what I was going for last time. It's more the style of drawings that I've been doing pretty much forever. If you look at some of my sketchbook tours, you'll see the fine liner buildings come up a lot just because I love the simplicity and the neatness of it. It's also something that I'm just quite confident and comfortable with. But an extra element, something that I haven't used properly in my work for a really long time, I decided to try some watercolour painting to colour it. And rather than stick with simple colours, I wanted to limit the number of paints I used but end up with quite a colourful piece. I was definitely hugely influenced by Matthias Banowicz when it came to my use of colour. He's an amazing artist who works in animation in Japan. You've almost definitely seen some of his Japanese storefront series of paintings, and he actually has a channel on YouTube as well where he talks a lot about watercolour techniques and choosing colours, finding inspiration, and just a whole wealth of knowledge that comes from his years of experience. I'll leave a link to his channel below so you can check him out. But yeah, since I'm trying to work on my landscapes a bit, I'm trying out anything I think I might like to adopt into my work, just to see how I feel about it. I think that's an important thing to do when you see an aspect of someone else's work that interests you or fascinates you or inspires you. When you see someone do something and think, how did they do that? The best thing is to try it for yourself, feel it out and see if it could work for you. And obviously I'm not talking about completely ripping off someone's style or subject matter, but picking parts that speak to you and interpreting them in your way. Because anything you do will always have an element of uniqueness to it, because no one else has your hand, your specific touch, or the way that your brain interprets the things you see. In this particular case for me, I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed working with watercolours again. This is a set from Smiths, by the way. I got it in the wooden box you saw from a car boot sale for about £5 if I remember right. And I haven't used them a lot. I remember talking quite recently about how tube watercolours, I can't really get them right. But this time I felt like I found the sweet spot with them. And I was really impressed with the quality. I love gouache and I love how it looks, but I'd forgotten how much more responsive watercolour can be. It's so much more agreeable. I can't really think of the word. It just does what you want it to a lot more than I think gouache does. This was such a treat to paint, no stress. I just felt like I knew what I was doing, which, as I'm sure you've come to realise, is quite rare for me. However, I'm still so much more drawn to the look of gouache paintings and that minimal style I was talking about last time. So I took from this painting a real appreciation for watercolours, more of a desire to incorporate them into my work in the future, but possibly not anything to adopt into my style. And that's why I think everything's worth trying. It's never a waste of time to experiment. You're either going to learn that you want to do more of that thing or that you don't. Either way, you've got to know a little bit more about yourself and your art. And if you're worried about copying someone else's work or style, because I know there can be such a fine line between being inspired or influenced by someone and just straight ripping off their work, I would say if you find yourself about to draw something and before you can even start you're thinking, how would so-and-so do it? It's probably time to take a step back and focus on how you would do it. Just remember that it's not really about wanting your work to look like something that person made. It's about acknowledging why their work appeals to you, understanding what aspects appeal to you and what you can do to deliver the same feeling. So that quick chat about the painting turned into more than a quick chat. What I really wanted to talk about was reaching 100,000 subscribers. Things really blew up recently. It's still kind of hard to wrap my head around. Like, I can't explain how unfathomable it is to think that so many people will listen to me go on and ramble and just be interested enough to want more. So yeah, I really appreciate all of you, the newest members of the fam and the peeps that have been here since the beginning. You know who you are. And I will be having a giveaway. That was supposed to be like my key point to talk about in this video. I'm still just assembling the things, but I should be ready to announce it properly in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Really excited to finally be in a place where I can actually give back to you guys, and I can only thank you all for getting me here. Now, before we get too sentimental, I'm going to go ahead and end things there. Thank you all so much for watching. For information on the tools used in this video and other bits and bobs you might be wondering about, please check the video description, and if your question isn't answered there, I'd be happy to answer it in the comments. I will see you all in the next one. Have a banging weekend. Love you lot. Bye.